How's it going?
Hi, it's going well, but extremely tired today.
Yeah, I sense that. Yeah, you look a little bit worn out, tired.
Yeah, it's been a long day, and I'm in a dire need of sleep. So,
Oh, I guess then the topic would be a little bit heavy for you because the topic that I chose was Mahabharata.
Bharat, yeah, I saw no. Okay, actually, Mahabharat is one of my favorite epics. So when I saw that you had chosen it, I was very excited as well for the discussion. So
Oh,
I don't
wow.
mind at all. Yeah,
I hope that it's gonna help you to blow off some steam, I guess. You look a little bit tired here. Uh,
yeah, 100%.
was it because of back-to-back sessions and clapping group?
Oh no. I had the sessions from 5, but I have them till 7. I don't know why I chose. I did not know the day was going to be so heavy today, and that's how it got so like tiring. And I came back home at what 3:30? No, actually, I reached home at 4:15 itself.
From
And
your college.
yeah, and then I have sessions till 7. I did not know this day was going to be so hectic. Otherwise, I would not have taken so many sessions.
But if it makes you feel any better, it's a good thing that you have started earning from your college itself. It reminds me of my days, like when I
Yeah,
was in college, I started doing that. So it's a good thing.
yeah. Plus, clapping is not the only commitment I have. I'm involved in 3, 4 other things as
Wow.
well. So, I'm a department office bearer. I'm a PR and collaborations director for some society. I'm also doing community outreach, so I have to go to the NGO thrice a week. So, yeah, it's a and of course, academics is there.
And where do you belong to, Rita?
I have been here in Noida all my life, so I've been brought up
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Great. Nice.
So how was your day, Janil?
Well, it's just like yours, hectic. Yeah, it was fulfilling. I was content, So my energy levels are pretty good still.
Hmm.
And that's why I chose two, sessions with you. Like when one of the guys told me that it's Sudit, I thought, yeah, let's book both the sessions of ours and let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so sweet of you. I'm glad you're liking the conversations.
Hmm, definitely. Yeah. And,
So shall we begin with Mahabharat discussions?
yeah, sure. Let's cut to the chase. Who's your favorite character in that?
Aha, oh my God.
Apart from Lord Krishna, obviously.
Huh? Sorry?
Apart from Lord Krishna.
Oh, come on, he's my favorite.
I
But
feel like it's like
yeah,
it's
apart,
meaningful.
hmm, you know, just before, there's so many characters I admire honestly because I watched a lot of podcasts also, and I've read quite a couple of books on Mahabharata. And what I loved was that every character depicts something. Every
True.
character, even their names,
Yeah.
they depict a lot about their personality. So nothing that was written was, you know, uh, just like an casual addition. It was so thought out. Uh,
Definitely, yeah. It's meticulous, precise. Like it's flawless. You cannot say that this was not in the right place, right? Like,
100%.
yeah,
And I think every character has so much to teach you.
yeah, definitely.
It's so difficult to pick one. I mean, while Kanna talked about, and very interestingly, we had this paper last semester in my minor paper
Okay.
where we studied epics. So Mahabharata as a play is what we covered. We like read
True.
the entire book, like the dicing section and the gambling section, and so on and so forth. And I remember the discussions being so, like in college, so enriching. We talked about the caste system and how,
Baptism.
yeah, so there's so much to talk about. I don't know where to begin. Actually, you know what? You tell me your favorite character, and then we can pick up some themes, maybe.
Look, when it comes to my character, I would definitely go with Yudhishthir because hands down, I feel like he's the best. Because he was a voracious seeker of knowledge, and he was the only guy who went to heaven with his body.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that I guess I can resonate with that person with Yudhishthirji. because I'm also like really into like knowledge and all. And the other person that I would like to meet, if possible, that would be Parshuram, uh, Parshuram ji. So I want to meet him. Although his character is like lesser known in Mahabharata, it's like it doesn't have that much of, I guess, space in it. But I want to meet him, if possible. Yeah.
I have contrasting views for Yudhishthir.
Okay. Yeah. Drop them.
So, I wrote an I wrote a research paper on the themes of morality in Mahabharata for as a
Okay.
part of this paper last semester, and you know what I think one of the lessons that I take. So he's not one of my favorite characters. He's not, uh, because when it comes to the notion of dharma, he's
Hmm.
considered to be the embodiment, right? He's like
Yeah.
the
Right.
Dharmaraj, Yudhishthir. But
Hmm.
while also studying the play, like the actual text, what we also realized is that there should not be a blind obedience to morality or duty.
Okay. Yeah.
Why I say that is because while he was considered to be the Dharmaraj, him gambling away his own wife is not something expected of a Dharmaraj or somebody who would be a future king. You see,
Yeah.
so I
Definitely.
think his character genuinely teaches us that there is no such thing as black or white when it comes to dharma or morality or your duty. It always is in the shades of gray. Dharma does not mean that you blindly obey all the rules. Sometimes dharma
Hmm.
might also make you break those very rules which you've been following your entire life. So what is of importance is that in that moment with, that is something that Manu also talks about in his Manusmriti, that we are people, like as men and women, we are beings of rationality and reason. And that is how, in tough circumstances, how you take decisions, what does your actions reflect, that is a true sort of reflection of your personality. So, yeah, so there should not be a blind adherence to morality and dharma. It is very subjective. It is very
Okay.
subjective. And that is something that I believe is one of the biggest lessons from Mahabharata. What you think is true does not actually have to be true. If that were, one of my favorite conversations is when Karna and Arjun were having their fight on the battlefield. And Karna turns around and asks Lord Krishna that you made Arjun attack while I was fixing my wheel. How is that fair? And then Lord Krishna very famously said, where did your notions of dharma go when you called Draupadi a prostitute for being married to 5 men? So, again, it talks about there is not one branch of perspective or understanding dharma. It is again very contextual. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I never thought from this perspective. But just to play a devil's advocate, I would say that in terms of Yudhishthira or in terms of any characters, we
Mm.
see that they are not flawless. There's a thing that, yeah, we can resonate with it. Even like if guy like Yudhishthir, if he can make mistakes, we are mortal human beings. Even we
Yeah,
can.
we can make
So
mistakes,
if
100%.
you look from that perspective, I guess Yudhishthir was good, and the way he showcased that, that shortcomings of his, that was really like top notch. I feel like that.
100%, 100%. And, you know, uh, what was I saying? In that same paper, we also studied the South Indian text, Silapadikaram, which was written
Mhm.
by Ilango Adigal. And one of the main differences that we noticed in both the Mahabharat and because in South India they consider like there are five main epics and Silapadikaram is one of them, and but in
Oh,
North India it's mainly Mahabharata and Ramayana, right? So one of the major themes was in Mahabharat these demigods, because
yeah.
Yudhishthir, Arjun, Karna, they're all like the sons of the sun god or the wind god or
Hmm.
so on and
True.
so forth. So these demigods, these divine beings, get reduced to mere mortals, as you said, capable of making mistakes, capable of rectifying those mistakes, and capable also of um, receiving punishments for their mistake. I think the same thing, that your actions and the consequences of your actions will never escape you, no matter whether you're a demigod, a god, or a human being. So and in contrast, in Silapadikaram, and in Mahabharata we had all these male protagonists, right? Like five Pandavas and even Duryodhan and all that. But in Silapadikaram we had a female protagonist
Oh,
who actually belonged to a lower caste. And these are all Kshatriyas, by the way, the Pandavas, and of course, they are Kshatriyas, they belong to the higher castes. But here, the protagonist Kannagi is from a lower caste. And how her journey from being a mere like a mere human being born in a lower caste attains that divine status by the
oh,
end of the epic. And that was so fascinating, tells you about how uh, the cultural difference between north and south, the way they've depicted stories uh, down south. I mean, very, very like progressive for that time. So I was very impressed while we read that particular epic.
what's the name again, Udita, of that epic?
It's called Silla Padikaram by Ilango Adigal.
Okay, Sila.
And there's this very interesting instance where Kannagi, so basically her husband is murdered for having been accused of stealing something. I don't remember. There was he was accused of stealing the queen's anklet. And based on that suspicion, he was murdered, right? Because us time pe hota tha, like over theft or wo, they
Yeah,
would,
definitely.
one of the most epic moments in the entire story was when Kannagi barges into the king, into the king's court, and she
Oh,
openly challenges the king. I said, how could you, without proper proof,
evidence. Hmm.
evidence, how could you do it? So here we have, and the king repents, and then he and his wife, uh, like, you know, because of guilt, they die then and there. So they both exit their bodies. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's there. So it also talks about how this person from this quote unquote lower caste goes
Hmm.
and actually has the power to question the king. And her
Yeah,
piousness, her purity as a wife gives her that power
hmm.
to actually, and I did not want to give you a spoiler, but such was her
Also,
conviction and virtue that she actually destroyed the entire city of Madurai.
really, wow. And that reminds me of a story. I'm not sure whether you are acquainted with it or not. The story of Savitri and Satyavan. Are
Savitri.
you Savitri and Satyavan?
Hmm.
Where she did similar kind of thing, where she brought her husband back from the hands of Yamraj, from the hands of the king of death. So
That,
that's,
yeah.
yeah, that's similar to this story, I guess. Now it reminds me
Yes.
of that story.
Yes, but great, great epics. I think if you get a time to read Silapadikaram, I think you must give it a try.
And
Um,
if we get sidetracked for a minute, like hypothetical question, if a movie has to be made on this Sila, I'm still trying to figure out the name. Who do you think would be the right actress for it to play the role of this protagonist?
oh my God, actress for, okay, you see, Kannagi is such a complex character because in the beginning she is this devoted wife who never and her husband Kovalan also left her for a courtesan. Uh, he left Kannagi for a courtesan. I mean, that's like getting too much into the story, but again, why I said that was because she's a very devoted wife. She never even questions him when he does so. So, and but by the end of the epic, we see her being sort of raised to this pedestal of divinity. She's actually worshipped by the end of the epic. So I think somebody who embodies both innocence and power at the same time. I think if Or actresses. I mean, there are already no actresses that I like. It's so difficult to pick. Ah, maybe someone like the strong actors like Vidya Balan or Tabu or Rekha. Like they could really do it. Because they can balance both innocence and like that power.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I never thought about it. Like I would say that you will go with contemporary actresses, but wow, nice. Great.
I mean, because I love watching old movies. So the kind of performances I've seen by them, even Gangubai, I mean, Alia Bhatt was amazing in that movie, but then again, I felt like there was a need for some domineering presence, like because again, Alia Bhatt is very young. We need somebody who is, uh,
And she's too naive to play about this kind of characters, Like
yeah,
even this thing like the Ramayana has been coming out, and I feel like Ranbir Kapoor is like he cannot justify the role of Ram. So, yeah.
yeah, it's so difficult to firstly uh, play this role, and to fit in the shoes of Lord Rama and
Yeah.
Sita ji. I mean, it's near impossible. But yes, I'm waiting for some like good productions. Even people hype Game of Thrones so much. I said read
Ah,
Indian medieval history. Game of Thrones will feel nothing to you. It is nothing when you actually read Indian uh,
mm,
medieval history.
true.
I mean, the entire battle for succession between Aurangzeb, Dara Shikoh, and his brothers,
Oh,
him imprisoning his own father, Shah Jahan,
yeah.
and keeping him captive for more than 10 years. Um, and what was really what really struck me was that this same thing had happened when Akbar was about to declare his successor. So even
Mm,
then, Jahangir had killed all of his brothers, and Akbar's wife, Harka Bhai, जिसे लोग like they who they understand is Jodha Bhai. Jodha Bhai was not his wife. Jodha
okay.
Bhai was his daughter-in-law. So her
Okay.
actual name was Harka Bai. So Harka Bai or Mariam Zamani had warned them that killing your own brothers, like committing fratricide for sort of gaining your hands or for gaining the throne will
Mm,
eventually destroy this dynasty. And that is the same thing that happened with Aurangzeb and Dara Shikoh. Like he murdered all of his siblings and acquired the throne. And of course it's a separate discussion why Aurangzeb is hated so much even in today's
ah,
time. But
definitely.
like everything has a precedence is what I realized from reading about that. Yeah.
Wow. Intriguing. Yeah. These topics, yeah, these are really, it always we have to read between the lines, and it kind of like keep us on our feet all the time.
100%. And if you uh, I remember, like the reason I remember these events so clearly is because very early on I read this book called The Wives, Sisters, and Mothers of Mughal Emperors. It was by Ira Mukhoti. She's a historian. And
Yeah.
no book summarizes Mughal history as well as she did. And I'm sorry, I keep rambling on, but so many points are in my head. Because when the colonizers, the British came to India, um, they used to describe us as uncivilized, barbaric, effeminate. Like we were treated as we were considered as feminine. That is, we are weak and they are masculine. They are strong. They can come and dominate us, which again is very problematic in its own sense. But at the same time what they failed to see was that our like women during that particular time period in medieval history, the because if Humayun Nama, his own autobiography, was written by Gulbadan Begum, his sister. We had Mariam Zamani, who was involved in extensive trade, so much so that it actually led to the eviction of Portuguese from Indian shores. And then there are numerous. There's Jahanara Begum, there's Roshanara Begum, there's Hamida Banu Begum, who actually commissioned the construction of Humayun's tomb. So all of these women, Chandni Chowk was designed by Jahanara Begum, Shah Jahan's daughter. You know, what these colonizers failed to see was that women during that particular time were far more educated, far more intellectual than their European counterparts. Because, you know, women in Europe were treated as simply meant for raising children and, you know, being confined to the four walls. But us in the colony were far more sort of developed in that sense of the word.
On the other hand, like one thing that bugs me a lot, it ruffles my feather is like, we know more about Mughal emperors than we know about our like Hindu, people, like Hindu kings and all. Like even if we take a look at Jodha Akbar, the film itself, it depicts all the good things about Akbar. But when you get to know the reality of it,
Yeah,
you
it's
loathe that person. So I want to know that why the hell the filmmaker, why didn't he show the actual side? Like why did he show all the good things and not the shortcomings, which are
yeah.
far
You,
you know
so you
higher?
the main motive behind these like making these films is again, you know, it's a business. You have to make
Yeah.
money. But yeah, you know, it's like I think it's also a lack of awareness, Daniel. When we are fed one perspective throughout our lives, it's very difficult to look at something else which might contradict that fact. So again, you know, and Bollywood is like that. It glorifies everything. But I think in recent times, I'm seeing a lot of change in that sense. You know, we have more awareness about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Sambhaji
Yeah.
Maharaj, Ranjit Singh, Maharana Pratap, and also I think women leaders. I remember reading about this queen, Abakal, in South India. So I forgot what she was, what kingdom she was ruling over, but she defended her kingdom from Portuguese attacks or invasion for 40 years, and
Okay.
her legacy was carried on by her daughters also. Then we have, you know, kings like the Chola Chera Pandya empires again, you know, Vijayanagar Empire is something we don't talk about. Harihara and Bukka, I mean, the travelers that came to Vijayanagar Empire actually said that it's greater than Rome itself. So, you know, again, it happens. I think, you know, the thing is, people consider history to be boring. And that's why they don't delve deep into it. But once you go, there is no going back. Then, though, your entire perspective gets changed.
On the other hand, it's not like yeah, a lot of people, like most of the people feel like history is boring, but there is a quote like if you don't learn from the history will repeat itself. So
It
I guess
does.
start hitting the books and like learn the history, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my God. Where were we on Mahabharata and where have we come down to? Okay, coming back to Mahabharata, please tell me more about what you like about Mahabharata as an epic.
Okay, all right. So do you know about this? Like, as you are into Mahabharata, some of the characters which are lesser known, like Barbaric, first of all. Do you know about that guy? Barbaric.
Barbary.
Barbaric.
Barbaric. I don't think I've come across this character. Where does he feature? Tell me about him.
The thing is, he was one of the most powerful characters in the entire Mahabharata. If he could have ended the war in a minute. So Lord Krishna himself had to go into that, like to Barbaric, and asked him for a favor to give his head because he didn't want Lord Krishna didn't want Barbaric to join the war. If he had joined the war, no one would have ever won the war. Like it would be like the destruction from both of the sides. So what he did, Lord Krishna, he beheaded the head of like Barbaric, but Barbaric had a little like favor to ask from Lord Krishna. So he asked that I want to witness the entire Mahabharata. So what he did was he put his head on the top of the mountain where he witnessed the entire war for 18 days. That
Yes,
was
I have heard about that part where, you know, somebody saw
yeah.
the entire Mahabharata reaching out, but barbaric. Okay, that's not someone I've heard about.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I must have come about him
You
somewhere.
must have, like, you might have forgotten the name of it, but yeah, I guess
Yeah,
after this conversation, you can look up to him. Yeah,
I will.
and the second character, like lesser known again, Parshuramji.
No.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So the story of his and Karna, then story of killing 21 times Kshatriyas. Yeah. And there was a story of like that one, Shikandi, I guess.
Ah, Shikandi, yes. Again, you talk about the LGBTQ community and how the
Yeah.
transgender lens features in. Oh my God, it's like, everything that was there is like coming to like
Yeah.
seeing it in. It's so relevant even today is what baffles me. As a caste, transgender or queer rights, the what is right, what is what is dharma, what is adharma, what is justice, what is duty, governance.
Yeah.
I think uh, the main reason why Mahabharat happened was because I think it was Lord Krishna who said it was because the main elders of the family, Bhishma Pitama, they had failed to do their duty. Uh, you know, uh, in the sense that he was supposed to be, the next king, Bhishma Pitama, Devvrat. But then because of Satyavati's promise, he took his vows of celibacy.
Mm.
And that is what, led to these course of events and how they transpired.
True. Yeah. And what else? Yeah, there was a thing that I want to tell you. Yeah, like the relevance of this epic, the Mahabharata. Like, I'm not sure whether you have siblings or not. Where when it comes to property, when it comes to money and all, people forget that they are their siblings. They would go on literally war with them for
Yeah,
the sake of property.
right. And one of my favorite, I think it was a portrait by Raja Ravi Verma, where it depicts Draupadi's disrobing by Dushasan. And the entire message of that painting, where because it is perceived by society that a woman will be protected by first her father or her siblings, or then later on by her husband, and then her children, and then her grandchildren. They don't see her as a powerful entity in herself. And
Damsel in distress, I guess.
sorry.
Damsels in distress.
Right. And then that painting showed how Draupadi, after, because at first she appealed to everybody. She's appealed to Bhishma Pitama, to Vidur, to the Guru, and then to her husbands. But nobody came to her help because, again, it was dharma, some weird form of dharma. But nobody came to her help. And in the end, she eventually realizes that nobody will stand for her except her own self. And
Hmm.
famous questions. I said, that is, who gave you the right to gamble me when you already had lost yourself in dice? And she realized that the only person who could help her is God Himself. How
Hmm.
she stood, because actually nobody stood up for her. She had five husbands. Nobody did anything. Useless idiots is
Yeah.
what I think. And the way she, and when we actually read, she's such a smart woman, Draupadi, because when that slave came to her chambers to tell her that you are to go to the assembly and you've been gambled, the way she was counter questioning him. I mean, I have the book with me. Maybe I'll read the lines to you some other day or whatever. But the
Sure.
way she was, countering, and then the way she presented herself in the sabha, nobody else stood for her. And
Yeah.
it again challenges the notion that at the end of the day, there is no protector. You yourself are the one who has to stand up for yourself. And that is
Wow.
such a strong message to us as
Great.
women.
Nice. And the way you put it, it's incredible. Yeah. So nice. That's okay. Yeah.
It's just, I wish I could have maybe revised, because all of the thoughts are just coming back to me very haphazardly. I would have put it even in a more like refined manner, but
Nice.
maybe next time.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Wow. I'm speechless as of now. Nice. And okay, on a lighter note, what you want to do next? Like once you are done with this class, would you be like, what kind of things would you like to do just to blow off some steam?
Oh my God. First, I have my like Clapimo sessions till 7, as I told you, and then I have another
Oh,
meeting for PR and collaborations at 8. Yeah, 8. But I think I'll just relax now. And I have a event tomorrow which I am hosting and emceeing, so maybe prepare for that. And yeah, we just got done with the test when a few days ago, so the next tests are in the upcoming weeks. So I'm just gonna relax today and maybe get some previous work done. Yeah.
great. Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you ever feel like what kind of things do you do when you feel burnout?
When I feel burnt, okay. Uh, I listen to ghazals.
Gazelles.
Yes, ghazals. They really have a very calming effect on me.
Oh,
And I think we spoke about this last time. Whenever right before going to sleep, I just meditate for 15-20 minutes, and
nice.
that just nothing calms me down more than that. I'll just sit and I switch off all the lights, and it's just me and meditating to that supreme being. That's it. That really helps.
That's great. Okay. And will you be pursuing your masters once you are done with your bachelor's?
Yes, that is the plan. But at the same time, we have this proposal of even continuing for the fourth year, in which we will
Oh, yeah.
be able to do our research as well as publish our dissertation. So that is something on my mind right now.
Got it. And like, do you plan to pursue it in abroad, like abroad countries or in India?
See, I'm open to both, because in India, as it happens, your avenues for masters are like very limited, uh, in the sense that uh, it's either JNU or what was the is it the JNU or another.
Maharaj Shivaji Rao something? University?
So I think TISC is also coming up now, like the Tata Institute of Social Sciences, TISC, sorry. Uh, but yeah, so yeah, I am open to exploring opportunities abroad as well for masters. I think Edinburgh is a town I love, and maybe I'd love to pursue masters from there, something in IR, international relations. But I'll decide once we are done, like once we are nearing the third year, to either go ahead for masters or the fourth year. So that's something I'll have to deliberate on. Yes.
Hmm, nice. Great. All
Hmm.
right. Udita, I guess let's call it today.
Yes.
And we'll catch up soon. Take care.
100%. Take care and see you again super soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Take care.